What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. Today we're going to be talking about travel stocks. Again, this has been a pretty large surge. I'm seeing a lot of options buying within like Booking, Expedia, Uber. You can already see Avis car companies, stocks been flying through the roof here. And I kind of wanted to highlight some things of what people are looking to travel. So this report kind of comes out kind of showing on this is based on recipients, again, from different age groups from 15 to 55. You can see all the numbers going through here, that within the next 3 months, what's your state of mind, that they will be ready to travel. So you can see that the blue line is the ready to travel, so that's kind of skewing up, so that's always a good sign. And with the combination of people getting out, people have most people were fortunate enough to save money over the past coming times here. But this is also the interesting, the percentage of managers who are willing to travel for leisure in the next 3 months. So this is again very strong indication, and it has been building even since the beginning of this year. We're talking about, it was like at beginning of the year at 37%, and then it's been gradually going up to 67. So again, 2 out of 3 people are willing to travel. I know directly multiple people within my circle that have already gone to Disney World, that have already gone traveling to the beach. Of course, we just had spring break, so I want to tie this into real factual numbers. TSA check. So TSA checks, if you're not familiar with it, if you've never boarded a flight, you have to go through TSA check. And you can see here that the travel, or the 2021 traveler throughput. So what are we looking at? 1.2 million here. It's a great representation because they put 2020 and 2019. So around the month of April, on average, it was around like 1.5, 1.56, 1.55 million. That's comparison to 19, which is well over 2 million, and it actually got up to 2.4 at one time. But at the same note, we're seeing in 2020, it was around 120 to even low to 95,000 at that same time in that capacity. Literally, it has nearly tenfolded from where it was last year. So that's a good sign. That doesn't mean this distinction between business travel or vacationing. I'm more focusing on the vacation side of things because, again, people have been cooped up. They want to take their kids out. Well, I think once we'll see some fantastic numbers come through, especially with the warmer weather coming out, people want to go out and have fun. With vaccines in arms and all that kind of stuff, I think this would be a great resurgence and really have a big bang here. On that note, a couple stocks we can look at. The one that I'm currently in and have been trading here is Expedia. This one has been very interesting, and we're going to be diving into some options that I am currently in that can be trading off that. As of here on the chart here, this thing was beat down. Looking here on the weekly chart, this was not able to get above 140 pre the pandemic. Of course, that has really gave it a big kick in the cojones, and it went down nearly to $40. We are up substantially from that level, well past that 166 range, which I initially had for the year. We are well past that, up to basically 190 and making our way potentially to 200. Is this trade already somewhat cooked? I would say it's a little bit difficult to get into this one now. Again, looking here on the weekly side, let's go back to the daily chart here. Initially, some short-term support will be coming in. I kind of see that line here at 168 to 166. Could be a potential level of support if we do get a little downtick, because we do have the RSI kind of meandering around 60, and at the same time we have the volumes on oscillator, which is currently negative. So we are seeing not much volume on the stock here. So this is where I think we could get a potential move higher if we continue to stay above the 170 to 166. I think we can easily see this potentially test 180 to 190 in the near future. By the near future, I mean the next couple of weeks or next like at least 60 to 90 days out. Another one, of course, a direct competitor to this is going to be Booking, and the chart looks almost exactly the same. The way it kind of like progressed on that last quarter move up, we are really seeing all-time high numbers on people searching for key terms. I think there's a lot of people posting about going on traveling. We're seeing, actually, I find it quite hilarious. I actually was just perusing through Twitter, and people were complaining about car rental prices. And then I saw some YouTubers posting about car rental prices. And then, of course, if you remember the old Hertz HTZ, that no longer exists. It's not publicly traded anymore. The company's still around, but it had to sell a lot of their assets to qualify and get out of the bankruptcy stuff that they're dealing with. The only one that I can think of at the top of my head is Avis, because it's owned by they own a couple of subsidiaries of that. But look at this trade. This thing is insane. It went from $42 from that base here in mid-February, which again, the TSA numbers weren't that great, and it just skyrocketed, basically from $42, nearly doubled in this time frame. We're looking for maybe some level of resistance coming around $81. But this is insane. Like, this had a huge move going in pre of the COVID stuff, and seeing it really kind of drop down here. It went down to $6.35, and it's now up to $80. Like, this thing has been definitely fairly cooked at this point, and I want to be very mindful about getting into this one full bore. Another one that I've seen people playing is the old Google. So Google, of course, is the king of search, king of YouTube, and the king of the overall traveling stuff. Because again, when people search for something, they go to Google. Most likely, Google Flights or Google Travel will connect them to an ongoing thing. At the same time, this thing has been performing super well. We're hitting a pretty key level around 2,250, but that thing can still go higher. I think Google is a great stock, and that's one actually I still currently own. So let's go back into Expedia. Oops, I'm sorry. It's EXPE. Yeah, this one is still going high. The options that I wanted to talk about is the May. So I currently have the May 175 call, and there was a lot of options buying coming out of yesterday. There was quite a aggressive amount of buying around the 950-ish range, and there was again, you can see the amount of open interest currently on that stock is pretty impressive. And the next one that I own is all the way out in where was it? October. You saw a lot of open interest there as well. That's not the only reason behind it, of just buying it because open interest. You see that I was one of the trades as of today, because again, there's only 2 available, and it's already up 12% today. So that's a pretty substantial move in just that stock. Again, it is a little pricey, but it's not as priced as like Booking, and the Booking options are pretty insane. Again, the stock's well over $2,500. The same kind of at the money would be through the roof. And again, there's not much volume going on here. Even in the May one, you can kind of see a lot of people, most likely the larger hedge funds, are really the ones that are really able to trade this. There's not much liquidity in this options chain at all. It's most likely people will just be buying the straight stock, because these options are insane. And they're super wide too, so it's not really the best form factor for people to kind of trade that. So that was one of the reasons why I went with Expedia over some other ones. So we're going to be focusing continuously on Expedia here to kind of look at what we could see here in the chart here. Again, we just had earnings. It did kind of have a negative impact due to, again, expanding growth and just the overall market, but they were overall bullish on the outlook, which is very important. Of course, you see this continuous trend here. Again, going to the weekly side, we do have that short-term support around 166 down to the downward support, but then substantially further support coming in around 155. Some targets we want to look at, again, is that 180 to 187 would be kind of the breakout move. It is kind of consolidating. We have earnings coming out, looks like potentially in May. That would be that kind of coinciding with this May expiration. Again, that huge options interest that we saw going forth. Even here, we're seeing a little bit of options pick up on some volume here. A lot of course, been trading, and that's a little bit too short dated for my cup of tea here. But the May and especially the October ones are ones that I'm really looking at to kind of see and captivate the move into earnings potentially. Would be most likely getting out of the May one, but then potentially holding this October one through earnings on, if I feel confident that they will be able to beat and see a pretty large upsizing with my relative understanding of people going on vacations and so forth, which I think, let's be the only judge of that. This is more of a call in the sense of that. And at the same time, and again, I don't think most people are going outside the United States to travel. I think they're going inside the United States. So what's the best airline for that? It's going to be Spirit or Southwest. Of course, Southwest has been a banger here. That's been continue to go up as well. This thing has been very much outperforming here as well. Seeing it really kind of rickshaw back here from its highs around $60 post the pandemic, and now kind of blasting through that. We have some first key targets around $68 for the old love Southwest Airlines. Guys, on that note, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please don't hit the like, subscribe. Please do hit the like, subscribe on the way out the door, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.